Hello, everybody. Happy Friday, TGIF. I'm Ken with Ken Knows Gambling. I got one. I should name this Cocky Ken. It's Friday, so I'm gonna be cocky as hell. First time probably ever. But anyway, before I get cocky, let's see here. The members we're gonna shout out today are going to be John Weed, Tony C, Hit and Hope 11, Glenn, my buddy from Australia, John Smith, who gave me the card shuffler, and Damian Sharp. You guys are my members and sponsoring, and I want to do another special shout out to John Weed. On top of this, he's the guy making me, well, my members saw it. Members only videos. Sometimes, membership has its privileges. He's got 3D printer, and he developed a rack for your chips that already have the lammers in them. It's really slick. When I did it with the lammers to keep up with it, everybody goes, you're too slow. And then I went back to that way. Well, this is not necessarily a rack. It's just not. And I can't put lammers in here or whatnot, but it's faster, right? Well, he's going to, he sent it out. He sent the prototype out. It's interminglable. Boy, that's a bad word. But nonetheless, when I get it, I'll showcase it, and I'll get to play with it, and we'll just see if everybody likes it. And then I'm sure he'll be able to make it for anybody that wants one. Anyway, special shout out to John Weed. Also, remember that any strategy will go down sooner or later. Best bet in all the world is never to make the first bet if you do not have bankroll, money management, or discipline, or the desire to learn it. Because without it, you're dead in the water. You might as well not go. All right. I'm going to be Mr. Cocky Ken today. And we're going to talk about something that I rarely talk about, and that is Texas Hold'em. Now, out of all my subscribers, I probably got a handful of people who even give a rip about Hold'em. To me, that is a huge, huge mistake. And I'm going to share with you why I'm being so cocky about it. To me, Hold'em is the best game in the casino to make money, period, the end. I've said it for years, and I'm going to prove it here in just a second, okay? Now, I've said that before. People like John over at Casino Gaming Central, he said, man, I can't play that. People read me. I don't care. It's still the best game, Now, you do have to know some basics. But I don't care if they read you as the tightest player of all time. I don't care. I can teach you how to win. I can. Think about it. Couple things. In Hold'em, you're not playing the house. There's no house edge. It's like that one movie. There's no crying in baseball. Well, there's no house edge in Hold'em. They take their little rake every pot. So what? You're playing people. Most different game out there. All right, now here's where I'm going to get to say this is the best game to make money. And again, I haven't talked about it a lot because I don't have a lot of people that even want to talk about Hold'em. A few, so I don't, to try to appease most people, right? But let me give you some statistics here. I got on AI. Of course, they can't get exact with this because there's too many unknowns. But they said, I can get close for you just to give you something to talk about. I said, okay. I asked it, how many poker players make a living? Now, you got to define living, but how many people make a living playing Texas Hold'em? It says somewhere between 10,000 and 30,000 plus individuals out there that are actually making a living. That could be more, a little less, it doesn't matter. You're going to see what I mean in a second. 10,000 to 30,000 plus people making a living with Hold'em. Well, all right. Well, let's look at blackjack. How many people making a living? It says, again, These are rough estimate, but it could be hundreds to low thousands. And usually they're teams of card counters. So it's really low on individuals. Really low. Probably in the maybe hundreds, less than hundreds. Baccarat, because of the way it's designed, it says dozens, and we're talking in the world now, dozens to maybe hundreds are good enough to beat the house edge, are good enough and do it professionally and make money. Now remember, we're holding this up 10,000 to 30,000 or more people in Hold'em. Now we get to craps. And here's what it says now. It says virtually zero people play craps only and make a living. Of course, it has to quantify. It says, now I can't just say zero. So it's going to say more than likely less than 100 people actually make a living playing craps only. Based on, it said what it don't know. There'll be people under the radar making a living or whatever. But it ain't 10,000 to 30,000. There's no game in the casino that has as many people making a living consistently out of every game. And that includes sports betting. Out of every game in the house. I've been telling people for 5 years this. But just in little bits at a time. Again, nobody wants to learn it. Maybe I'll do a school on Hold'em and teach you how. I'm not trying to teach you to be Negrano or Phil Ivey or Phil Hellmuth or them top guys that are in the top 10 all the time. And don't even have to be to make a living. You don't even have to be close to being that good. And maybe I'll do a school on it or whatever. But now let me go further to prove my point. Statistical, we already know more people make money doing this than anything else. All right. Now let me show you something. In Hold'em, 10 people, starts with the dealer, a small blind, and a big blind. All right. Now I'm not going to be exact. I'm just giving demonstrations. So we're going to go 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. There's a player, there's a player, there's a player, there's a player, and here's a player. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's normal. 8 to 10. Now watch. Small blind and the big blind are the only 2 people that have to pay that round. That guy's free. That guy's free. Free, 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 free. Now, I want you to play a limit game. Screw no limit, pot limit, limit. Maybe a $5, $10. Find a limit game. Here's what I mean. Maybe he's paying the $5 big blind. Because if the limit is $5 and $10, these are going to be lower. This is probably going to be 2, 3, whatever. That ain't for this video. Let's just say it was $5, $10. He's in it for $10. He's in it for 0. Now, watch this. He gets to look at his cards, which are shit, by the way, for free. I want you to imagine looking at your 2 cards in blackjack versus their up card. Or not even seeing their up card, whatever. You get to see your first 2 cards first. But if you could see their up card first, 2 cards, you get a 2-card peek before you decide to put a bet, and you're not required to make a bet. What kind of advantage would that frickin' give you? Hell, in Baccarat, if you got to see the first 2, maybe you don't get to see the draw, but it gives you a huge advantage, doesn't it? Imagine the card counters that would come out of the woodwork if they could see the first 2 cards. You get to see your first 2 cards free on a full table 8 flipping times. 8. Where you don't have to put it down. It is a bankroll saver. On all other games, you have to make a bet every single hand. And it comes at you quick. This is slower. All right, I'm trying to make my case for you. All right, so I won't flip all the cards, but before the flop, this represents the first bet. This represents the call or the raise. He's first. He has to call, fold, or raise. And here goes. Okay, then comes the flop. Burn. Boom. Now, here's where the rubber meets the road this time in your life. It ain't his time to act. It goes back to the small blind. Just like if you're the dealer, the first guy gets to make the call. He gets to bet or check or whatever he's going to do. And there it goes. At this time in your life, you get to decide if you're going to put any money in the pot. So, in this case, we'll just flip them all over. Okay. Say it checked all around the first time. Oh, what the hell. 2 jokers. That ain't good. Let's give him 2 more cards. He's got a 7-8 or clubs. That's a minimum. I mean, really, I don't like that. I'd rather have a 9-10. But let's just say. Anyway, it's up to this guy. Let's say he checks. He stayed. He should be out. You know, let's forget the flop ever even happened. You know, they had to put money already. This guy should be out from Jump Street. It ain't strong enough. So let's kick him out. This guy should be out from Jump Street. Look at all the shitty hands. This happens a lot. He should be out. 3-5. He should be out. He don't know what this is. He should be out. Look at all the people that are going to fold. And it might get down to you two. Then this. All right, this guy's going, well, I got 1 club. He still needs 2 more clubs. He's chasing. He still knows, well, there's no pairs here. I've got 4 to a straight. He may raise you. All right? I'm looking at that. If he starts raising me, I'm going to play tight. I got nothing. I mean, I can't reach nothing. I'd probably get out. But let's say I'm stupid enough to hang with him. Here comes the turn. This guy's got the hammer, but ace, 2, 3. He has to now worry about, do I have a 4? Now, that just made him think. That's the cool part of hold'em. All right? So let's say he bets. But really, this guy, he don't know that he don't have a 4, but he bets. He don't have nothing. So that bet may cause him to fold. I would fold that. I got nothing to go. I'm done. He wins the pot. He didn't have to be a genius. And he would have had, that's it. He didn't get to finish it straight, but it doesn't matter. I could teach you how to play the game. But what I'm trying to get you to understand is, once that hand is over, if this is me, I didn't have to pay, this all moves. All right, let's do it this way. Position 1, 2. Me, him. Boink, 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 boink. We'll just give everybody 2 cards, just so I can show you, and then I'll end the video. This is how cocky I am. Okay? Okay, remember, these 2 guys, it was like this. He had to pay, free look. Then the next hand, it's going to move. Now it's going to go like this. These buttons will keep moving. Remember, he had to pay? This, like that. Now he don't have to pay anymore because it's going to shift. He's now free for about 9 more times. This small guy was the big guy. This is his second time that he's going to have to pay. Okay? Free. Then it's going to move again. These are all free. This guy that already paid his 2, now he gets to look at 8 more. Free. Free, 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 free. Big, big, big. You don't have to pay but like twice. Now, we're not calling if you call her, but that's where you got to know what you're doing, and I can teach you that. And I don't have to be Phil Ivey or Negrano to tell you how to be tight and win a pot an hour. This is the best game if you can learn it. This is the best game for every reason that I just told you, where you can make more consistent money at this game than any game in that flipping casino. Now, I'm sure they're going to be people argue with me. That's fine. I'll argue this one. Because you have nothing to stand on. If you're a craps player, baccarat player, whatever, you got nothing to stand on. You can't look at cards free 80% of the time. You don't have to make a bet until you're ready. Fold, fold, fold. Bankroll saver. It's slower. And you're playing the people. You ain't playing the house edge. There is none. So I'll argue with you. Now, do you want to learn it? I don't know. There's probably not enough of you. I may have to do a class, and I may have to put that under a paywall. That ain't what I was after with this, but, you know, I don't want to ostracize the people that don't want to learn this. And there's more of you that don't than do. So that'll be for a different topic. But I can teach you how to be good enough that you could play Daniel Negreanu or Phil Ivey and still beat them from time to time. By the way I play. But there's Cocky Ken for today. Texas Hold'em. The best game in all of the casino. And oh, by the way, John, my buddy John, I remember one time he said, well, craps is the only game that you can take $300 and make $10,000. No, it ain't. Hold'em, you sure as shit can. So craps ain't the only one. And I just don't want people to be so biased against Hold'em and just be so biased. Oh, craps. Craps is the bomb. Craps is the bomb diggy. No, it's not. Anyway, there's my cocky one for today. Texas Hold'em. Learn it, play it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Be great. Have a good weekend. Bye.